How do the disciples react to Jesus? After the resurrection of our Lord, he came to the disciples. However, some claim this shows a contradiction whether they were frightened or excited. In John 20:19-20 it says, "Now when it was evening on that day, the first day of the week, and when the doors were shut, where the disciples were together, due to the fear of the Jews, Jesus came and stood in their midst, and said to them, Peace be to you. And when he had said this, he showed them both his hands and his side. The disciples then rejoiced when they saw the Lord." In Luke 24 it says, "Now while they were telling these things, Jesus himself suddenly stood in their midst and said to them, Peace be to you. But they were startled and frightened, and thought that they were looking at spirits. And he said to them, Why are you frightened? And why are doubts rising in your hearts? See my hands and my feet, that is, I am myself. Touch me and see, because the spirit does not have flesh and bones, as you plainly see that I have." And when he had said this, he showed them his hands and his feet. Well, they still could not believe it because of their joy and astonishment. Very simply, both counts are correct, and Luke shows us this very well. John seems to not mention their fear. Luke tells us the disciples were frightened, and he said to them, Why are you frightened? But the disciples, according to Luke, too, were filled with joy. They still could not believe it because of their joy and astonishment. Thus, we have no contradiction. Merely, John negated that they were afraid, while Luke chose to speak on it. This is not a contradiction, it is a lack of specificity.